Hello, my name is Yvonne Grffin and I'm passionate about enabling people to live the lives that they deserve. I'm a trainer, a coach, and of late I'm a therapist. I'd like to pose first of all a question to you. When I mention the word change, how does it make you feel? Do you like to live in the past or do you like to live in the future? Or are you like many striving to live in the present? For me, I used to live in the past. And when you live in the past, a lot of stuff comes up and prevents you from living the life that you deserve. I have had many clients who spent their time in the future, and not living in the present time and spending time in the future brought up lots of anxiety because they were living without, living in the future without living in the present moment. As I said, I'm passionate, really, really passionate about enabling people to have nicer lives. I have spent many years writing transformational programs. I have worked in the corporate world. I have worked in the educational world as a lecturer at third level. And I've also worked in different areas with private clients and also with many in the social economy. I believe that each and every person that I worked with has something to offer. In terms of transformation and working with people, what I found when I was writing my training programs and delivering the training programs was that I included the 4 dimensions of ourselves in terms that we are body, mind, emotion and spirit. And I introduced people, or the participants that I had, to their real self by introducing them to the spiritual dimension of who they are. And I hid this fact. I was getting great results. And people were saying to me, wow, you're transforming lives. And I was saying, no, I'm just a catalyst. But there was a part of me inside that was buried because I was fearful of speaking about spirituality and, the woo-woo, as some people will call it. And many people, I come from Ireland, and many people would associate, and I grew up with this, associate spirituality with religion. And because of what has happened, in where I come from myself, and the church has fallen in that, many people tend to switch off when they hear spirituality. So I was faced with this dilemma. So what would I do? So I kept ploughing away and had great results. And I thought, hold on a minute. With the limited information that I have, I need to do more. I need to go and I need to study more. Yes, I mean, I had quite an amount of academic qualifications, but I felt, hold it, what do I need to do here? And I was like, a sponge. I got various different books. I looked at, read numerous authors, what they were saying. And I said, okay, right, you need to do 2 things, Yvonne. You have your work life here, but you have yourself here. And you've got to balance both. So what did I do? I started to say to myself, okay, well, let's look at the spiritual dimension of you and what you can do for yourself here and try and keep the your other life going. So then I was saying, the more that I got into looking at the spiritual dimension of myself, the more I was saying, wow, life has so much to offer. And then one experience brought me to the other, where I was looking at the spiritual dimension, but like who we are, what am I, who am I? Where did I come from? Where am I going to? I began to get really passionate about this. And I started to look at various different modalities and had the privilege of training with some of the best in the world. I studied energy medicine at different modalities there. I became a clinical hypnotherapist. I studied other modalities as a therapist. And most recently, what happened was I was attending a training program, and a girl was stuck in her life. And I said, I know that feeling of being stuck. Let me sit with you and let's have a chat. And as I was sitting and working with her, she said, you just must talk to Anne Jirsch. You must do her program. It's exactly what's missing from you. So I went away, and I got, first chance I got hold of the internet, I looked at videos of Anne and what she was saying, and I thought, yes, I'm giving this a go. And I contacted her immediately and said, can I do this training? I really want to do this. Found myself off doing the training. And, you know, I said, okay, this is great. Because what I have found is that people were stuck in the past. I was helping them to move into the present time, but to have the opportunity to take them and test drive their future and bring back that feeling of what it truly is like to have and to create the incredible life that you deserve, and enable people to think and anchor that in and then go and live it. And I thought, wow, this works. So what I'd like to do is just to tell you maybe about one or two experiences that I have had. I had a girl that came to me who'd had a brain tumour. And she said, I've heard about this future life progression that you're doing, and I'm just wondering, is there a possibility that you might do it for me? I don't feel, and I've often wondered, I suppose, she said, that, you know, will I ever get married? Will I be able to have a family? Will I be able to have a normal life? And I was saying, you're beautiful, you're wonderful, you know, you're everything going for you, you know. And she said, no, really, it's something that bothers me. So I said, yes, of course. So to make a long story short, we looked at this, we chatted, I coached her, then we had some therapy and into future life progression. And wow, she saw herself married with 2 children in this incredible home. Then I asked her to go into the rooms in the home. What did she see? What were the pictures on the wall? And she said, I can see the wedding. And she says, oh, I can see a picture of 2 children, 2 babies on the wall. And then she says, wow, these are my children. And then we looked and said, okay, let's go a bit further and let's look at, you know, 20 years beyond. And she, you know, we looked at that. And one thing that she had said to me was, I lost my mom, Yvonne. And I really hope that I'm around to be a good mom for my children. And she saw that she will be around, most definitely, and that she had a wonderful, wonderful relationship with her children. So that was one. And then I had another client who suffered a lot with depression, and she'd had a very tough life. And she came to me and we worked through therapy with her. We looked at what was happening for her previously, and more particularly, she went quite quickly into future life, where she saw a wonderful, wonderful life for her. And in the discussion before we went in, she said, do you think it's possible for you to take me further again? And what transpired was that she went to an age where she was 85, now she's in her early 30s, and she could see herself in this beautiful little cottage with lovely garden and whatever, and she could see pictures on her wall inside in the room in terms of how her life had turned out. But, you know, when she came out of it, she said, what particularly struck me was the sense of serenity that I was experiencing, the sense of fulfillment that I had, and how I truly had lived the life that I deserved. So I would say to you out there, if you come from the corporate world, I can give you specific examples, such as if I mentioned Anne Jirsch earlier. Do you know that Anne Jirsch has a credit on a Hollywood film? Because she has saved Hollywood directors millions. So if you're in the corporate world and you're saying, I don't know about this, I would say to you to think again. And for somebody who has trained at a very high level there, I can guarantee you that this works. For the rest of you that are out there in any capacity, I would say to you, my experience to date has enabled me to stand in front of many people from many different backgrounds, and I know that this works. I would like to say, give it a try. Don't stay in the past. If you stay in the past, depression comes. Don't live your life in the future because you'll suffer from anxiety. Live your life in the present moment. Allow people like me and my colleagues to give you the opportunity to take you forward to see what will be your best future, how you can live it. And it will be just incredible for you. We will also help you to remove the blocks. And I would just like to take this opportunity to say that in all of my years, and it's well more than I would care to admit, but I've trained in numerous modalities, but I have never come across the support and the selflessness that I get from Anne Jirsch. It is just incredible. If you would like to train with us, please get in contact. If you feel that there is anything that I can do to enable you to live the life that you deserve, I may be contacted at flpacademy.com. Thank you very much.